Welcome. So welcome, Juandré. It's we are very privileged that you could join us today, all the way out here in Hartbeespoort in the northwest, so that you made the time to come through. Juandré is from Thermal Africa, and we thought it best that we share with the viewers always that we shoot all the scopes and all your products, and they just see it in passing. But we thought it best that let's have the guy in living flesh here to come and explain to us how the scopes operate and what they do and what products you have. And so if you can maybe just give us a small background of where Hikmicro comes from and where Thermal Africa comes from and where you guys started and what you're busy with, so forth.
So if I could start by where Hikmicro comes from, so it's a Chinese brand based in China, where every single thing that you get out of a Hikmicro product is made in one warehouse under one roof. So they are the sister company of Hikvision, which already owns about 90% of the world CCTV market. So Hikmicro is at a point where they've got the very good backup from Hikvision and a product that's already successful. And now they're incorporating it into the outdoor part. So Hikmicro is on a stage where they are fast going in towards the direction of Hikvision, taking over the outdoor mark, even if it's handhelds or scopes. We at Thermal Africa we've been importing this now for just above 2 to 3 years almost. And the directors of Thermal Africa has been in the market for more than almost 25 years, where they were working with CCTVs, with Hikvision and everything like that. So they've got the background again to push the products because of the knowledge that they have coming from Hikvision.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember when I met Uncle Henry the first time. So yeah, just a quick one. I was really struggling with thermal imaging, especially the previous scopes and handhelds and stuff that I own, and ended up meeting Philip through I met Henry. It's also Henry Jr. and Henry Senior.
Yeah, so it's Henry and then John.
It's John.
Yeah.
Brown also.
John is
his son.
Yeah.
Okay. It is the Uncle John.
Yeah, Henry is the son.
He's the son. All right. So I spoke to Henry, and then he said, please phone Philip. Philip is our agent, and he's our guy that knows the technical side of things. And he eventually convinced me to move over and make the move to Hikmicro. And when I met Uncle John, he said to me, he gave me the whole story in the background, where you guys come from, or his expertise from the Hikvision point of view. And it just made sense. I never thought that Hikmicro and Hikvision is a partner company, but it obviously made sense because we've been in the construction industry, been using Hikvision for many moons. So yeah, it makes sense that you guys you hit the market hard, and you definitely are forced to be reckoned with. You guys are there to stay, and you're here to stay, and that's why we also support Hikmicro fully. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. We've got all your units. So maybe tell us a bit about the latest models. And I see you brought a monocular. It's something I still need. I don't have a spotter. I use my scope now currently to spot. So what products have you got? And yeah, a bit of details or specs around them and pricing, and just so the viewers know what they're in for if they want to.
So what I brought here is it will look like the more expensive units, but it's because this is the newest products we have in our range, which were launched less than about a month or two ago. So what I brought in was the Falcon 2.0, which is currently one of your best, not one of the best, but the best monocular that you will get on the market. It unfortunately only comes in the FQ35 and the FQ50, either with a rangefinder or without. Prices start around 52,000. But the reason for this is it's because if you look at the price, the FQ50 2.0 is about 4,000 Rand less than the FQ35 1.0. That again is just showing you that Hikmicro is taking over the market, not with quality, but even with price. It's not possible to compete. So what's nice is about this thing, it's got a shuttler system built in compared to the 1.0, which means you don't have that split-second freeze anymore when you're looking at an object. So it's continuously looking around with your picture without that freeze.
Okay.
Another thing is it's got a super low millikelvin sensor inside, which is 15. This means it can determine and it can separate under different temperatures much better than in the past. Which, just to give you an idea, in the past you can see the difference. Let's say you had a horse, the hair on the neck and on the body, you can see different temperature. Now with this one, you can even see the inner and the outer leg of an animal. Will show you different temperatures.
Okay.
You can now even see between male and female. So this is what I brought on this one. This is just the monoxilla.
So is that a 15 millikelvin?
Yeah, 50 millikelvins.
What was the Stella the latest, the 3.0 is 18?
The SX60 is 18, but the SQ50 is also 15.
Oh, is it also
Yeah,
15?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
So what I brought then was also the HQ35. So there was a HQ35 before, but now because they brought in a 4K entry level, which has an entry level thermal but 4K resolution during the day, and then we've got the HX60, which is the Rolls Royce with high res and 4K. We had the HQ35, so we didn't want to make this the old cousin, you know, standing on the side feeling alone. So what they did is they kept the 640 sensor, but they just built in a 4K resolution now in it as well. So it's still the HQ35 like the past one. It's just your day vision will be 4K now.
Okay.
And then this binos is thermal with night vision built in, with a rangefinder, GPS, and a compass. So this is basically the whole range of Hikmicro built into each other without a crosshair. You cannot use it as a scope. Other than that, this is the all-in-one. But then another nice thing that I brought is this bad boy over here at the back on the PCP. This is the Alpex 4K Lite. So the big brother was there for about almost a year now, the Alpex 4K. But then they thought about accommodating the PCP guys as well, the air guns. Because everybody's enjoying the Hikmicro toys, but the air gun guys are missing out. So we brought the Alpex 4K. It comes also with a rangefinder, with a ballistic calculator. You can also zero it on 5 different guns. It records photos, video, sound, works with the app. So 4 people can sit next to you, see what you see on the scope. And then this one's price starts around 19,800 Rand. And then it includes a light with a bracket. I forgot to mention on the Hubrock, the price on this one is about 80,000 Rand. But like you know with Hikmicro, you have more expensive play toys, and then you have a little bit cheaper ones as well. But this one is accommodating for the PCPs, but it can also be used on smaller caliber guns, your .22, your 223, your 243.
What is your biggest caliber you can probably go to?
The biggest caliber we suggested was 243s and 250s. That's the biggest. Everything to do with the 2, but nothing bigger than that.
Yeah.
We've got a client shooting with a 243, and he actually shoots Springboks the other day between 300 330 meters. So this thing is doing more than...
So now obviously during the day, I mean, I just had a look through that as well. So during the day, it's by no means worse. You're not by no means worse off than with a normal, scope. But it gives you that opportunity and advantage then at night. So you can now start shooting at night. So with the PCP guys, I think you guys, there was a good call to go for, because nobody thought about that, and they're a little bit left behind. But yeah, pound for pound, I think it's worth what you spend. That's what I like about Hikmicro. Everything that I mean, you look at normal scopes these days, if you spend anything between, I'd say, 20 and 40,000 Rand, what you'll get is a decent scope, but you can spend that same amount of money. Now you've got a thermal option or a night vision option. You've got the recording options. You've got all these other functions, where that scope will just give you the clarity, maybe a bit of a zoom function. So these days, it's more and more to go to digital scopes. I think it's definitely a shift towards that. Instead of spending 80,000, 90,000 Rand on a normal conventional scope, might as well look now at a thermal or a proper night vision scope. Especially these binoculars. We're living in South Africa, so security alone, it's a necessity. I think every farmer should have one before anything else. That should be the first thing they buy. Just to secure yourself and your family. So no, that's awesome. So otherwise, what is your go-to scope that you guys? I know the SX is the SX60. Is now the upgrade or the big boy.
Yeah.
Of the Stellars. I purely didn't go for that because there was quite a big jump in pricing. But in your opinion, is it so much better in the functions and stuff that it?
So on the SX60, it has a big price difference between that one and the SQ50, just because of the double the resolution it has. So there is you will get products on the market that has on paper the same specs as the SX60
Okay.
with different prices. But if you take that scope and you put it on, you look through it, you're going to understand why you pay that.
So you do see the difference.
You do see the difference. But then again, what I like about the SQ50s and the SH35 compared to the SX60, because it's got that big resolution, they didn't build in the shutterless system. So you're still getting that split-second freeze. Because of the high resolution, it needs time to calibrate the quality picture that you see.
Yes.
So I like this shutterless system, which I prefer, especially when you're shooting. You don't want that split-second freeze.
That's right.
But then again, you get a full 120% experience with the SX60. The other thing is also, we working with it every day, we'll see a difference between the millikelvins. But then on the SX60, you get an 18 millikelvin sensor, where with the SQ50, you get 15. So a guy working like us every day with it, I'll see a difference. But then for an end user buying his first scope or just upgrading, you're not going to see that much of a difference. So in the end, it's either going to be, if you want to have a scope that's going to work for you, and if you want to have the best on the market, the Rolls Royce of everything. That's the only difference it's going to be.
Okay. And also, I must say the battery life. I mean, that's a big thing that I've shot different products before, and so I can make a calculated decision on why Hikmicro is the absolute front runners. I mean, you can look at now the Pulsars, and there's a lot of other brands. It's just pound for pound on what you're paying. Hikmicro is by far the front runners and the leaders in the industry currently. And the battery life is the one thing that us as hunters appreciate, because I don't have to sit there with battery banks and cables and all that type of stuff. I don't think the backup battery for these ones that go on the side here, I've never even put it in.
Yeah.
On this scope and the previous one, they're still in their packets, they're still sealed. So I literally just charge the internal battery and it gives me my 8-10 hours easily. Because you're not on constant power that time. If you do jackal hunting, and I've also seen if you put it in sleep mode, you still have view on your phone.
Yeah.
Is that a lucky, or is
so that's a nice function to have, especially when you have your gun mounted like this and you're in the field. You don't want to be sitting there looking through your scope the whole time observing.
Yes.
Now you can put it on sleep mode. There's no light deflection, so the jackal or whatever you're hunting is not seeing you. But you can sit there on your phone. So you have this distance between you and the phone to look, instead of just looking through it the whole time and getting that half blind feel.
Yeah. That's an awesome function.
On the batteries that you mentioned on your scope now, it's actually, you've been using your secondary battery. So on the Stellar, the external is actually the primary battery. So that just gives you an idea how good a battery is.
Yes.
And that's what people are worried about with the digital stuff, is the battery life. And that's where Hikmicro came in, and they did something exceptional.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing has about 9 hours battery life, and then you get a 4 to 6 hours in the external.
On the that's the backup. So I'm using it the wrong way around.
Yeah,
basically.
and it's still working for you. So this just shows you Hikmicro once again doing something without you wanting to do it.
Yeah, that was a major game changer, because I always had to. Now you're sitting, you set up everything, you're starting to call your jackal or whatever, you want to switch on the scope, there's no battery. You left your battery bank in the camp or whatever. It's just frustrating. So battery, you don't have to worry about it. Once it's charged up, you'll be good, at least for the night. So yeah, that's by far a big thing for me, on a personal level. So yeah, and then handhelds is one thing that I thought about for a long time, but because we've got this phone function thing, it's now easy for me to be in a chair and just sit around. But I found that because we've got the double chair and we sometimes 3, 4, 5 guys on the track, a handheld is a necessity. And especially if someone's now looking at a jackal and there was a pair or something come in, that is where a handheld is really, really a nice to have, I would think. But I definitely need to buy a handheld, so you need to give me a bit more information on that later. And then, but the thing I had with the handheld, when I hunted with Philip before, is it does have a bit of a eye thing. So can you do the settings on that, getting the brightness and the stuff on the handhelds and stuff also lower? because I felt that with the scope I never had that.
Mm.
Where I get a headache or you
Yeah.
look, sometimes your eyes hurt. But with this handheld, it did happen. So I don't know if it's a brightness thing or if you've experienced that yourself.
I've experienced it a lot. So I think with the scope is while you're looking, I think when you have a handheld, you have a scope. The amount of time that you spend looking at something through the scope and then through the handheld is a bit different. I think with the scope, you observe and then you take away, observe and take away. Where with this one, because it's a handheld, it's not heavy. You can spend a few minutes or seconds looking through it.
Right.
So it does make the eye feel a bit blind towards the other one. But what I've realized as well is if you drop your brightness level, obviously it's going to be a bit more difficult to see with the light inside,
Yeah.
but it's much more lighter on the eye. So when you take it away, you have a less blind feeling. But the thing is also, it's not, you get people in the market saying it's damaging your eyes. That's the reason why. But if you look about it, it's just the brain saying to you that one eye is working harder than the other one.
Makes sense.
And it's why you get that blind feeling.
So is that the selling point why you have to go for the binos?
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
both sides.
No, if you
both
take,
eyes
if you take the binos, there's absolutely no difference. You can take it away, you can put it up, you can then go through your scope and look through it. You can even look through a scope. If it blinds you and then you put on the binos, it's still going to look the same.
Yeah.
So with the binos, both eyes are working evenly hard. And that's why the binos is just, but it has their place in the market. I mean, if a guy in the security is not going to want the bino, you don't want to be running after somebody with a big thing in your hand and around your neck.
Yes.
So that's where this is. You can hold it in one hand and run with it.
And just quickly have
So it has their own places in the market.
pros and cons. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, well, that's exactly it. I should have been blind by now. Just the amount of times I spent looking through the scope. Because we don't just only use it for jackal hunting. I only use it for bush pig hunting. We just shot a couple of kudu bulls the other day. So we're quite keen if there's anything that looks 50-50 that's coming in a bit later at night to the hides or whatever. But it made so much a big difference to our success. Because I'll just sit maybe a couple of hours after sundown and then still be a successful hunt or get a client on something. Especially if we're struggling. So the thermal we use it basically on a week in, week out basis. And I'm still seeing, all right, my eyes are still good.
Yeah.
So it's not really bad for you. It's just like you say, it's that constant, then it's pitch black dark and then you're looking into light. So it's basically like you get up in the morning. It takes you a couple of seconds to focus again. No, yeah, so awesome, man. I think I'm very excited about the future with you guys. And I know myself, well, I've brought a lot of business to Hikmicro and we're going to continue to do it. And we're excited for you guys. I'm sure you guys are going to push everyone out. Just the service, I think that's the main thing also we can maybe share with the viewers is your guys' service. Anything goes wrong with your scope, especially if you're a commercial hunter and you're doing this for a business, you guys are going to give the backup to that hunter, right? The way I understood it is anything goes wrong with your scope, the backup's there, the technicians are right there. If it's really an important hunt or something coming up, you can even negotiate a loan unit, which they've done for me. Where all the other brands, it's basically you sell me a nice product and then you're on your own.
Yeah.
Tough thing.
Care about,
I think Hikmicro really shows that they care about the resale and the after sale service. So yeah, congrats on that and thanks for that as a hunter, and that's what we want. You're spending a hell of a lot of money.
Absolutely.
You're emptying up credit cards and stuff to pay for this.
And the wife's angry.
Yeah, exactly. So no, it's awesome. Thanks for making the time to come through.
It's a big pleasure. Thank
Really
you guys as well. It's always nice to, if you have a good product backing you to do what you want to do, then it makes your work easier. So yeah,
it does.
You guys as well.
No, blessings.